lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. It's a massive week for Arsenal. It's a big week for Arsenal in terms of getting Mikel Arteta the equipment he has asked for in this summer. The Euros are over. Copa America are over. Obviously, Spain, their congratulations. Vamos. Is it Vamos? I don't know. Vamos to Spain. Congratulations to Spain. Congratulations to Lionel Messi as well and Argentina for coming through and being the best teams of the summer tournaments. I think the football was absolutely terrible in both competitions, but we hang in there. We live through it. I think, if you have lived through this summer of football, terrible football, satanic football, you can actually hang in there a little bit as Arsenal begin to work on their big transfers this week. It is confirmed now that Arsenal are going to be making their moves, to sign the players that they want, including Nico Williams, who Barcelona have already announced that they're trying to sign, already beginning today, and that means that Arsenal have also got to make a statement beginning today as well. We are going to talk about the Riccardo Calafiori deal. We're going to talk about the Bruno Guimaraes deal. Could it still happen? Could Arsenal go back for Bruno Guimaraes? I mean, Onana is gone in terms of defensive midfield. Luiz is gone as well. Arsenal are not going to pay the 120 million euros for Joao Felix, for Joao Neves. That is not happening. So in terms of the number 6, could we really be, the club that are going to sign Bruno Guimaraes? We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about pre-season. I mean, there are few changes. Bournemouth is now game number 1. Manchester United is game number 2, and Liverpool is game number 3. And the dates have also changed a little bit. Bournemouth is now on the 25th of this month. Manchester United is on the 28th of this month, and Liverpool will be on the first day of August. But how are you doing? How are you doing today, this afternoon? Hope you're doing very well. Where are you watching from? What do you expect Arsenal to do this week? And what do you want Arsenal to do this week? I'm not going to lie. I've also been frustrated a little bit with our lack of urgency on the transfer market. And I think this week signifies a no excuses week for Arsenal. It's a big week because Mikel Arteta now has 10 days before he can start lining up his team for preseason. And a couple of players, by the way, are not going to be part of the first 3 games of preseason, as they will be, still on holiday. They'll have to take the rest. David Raya Martin is on rest. Saka, Rice, all those players are on rest. Of course, you have the likes of Aaron Ramsdale that are still going to be out on vacation, still enjoying their vacation, still getting some time to cool off as they have been at the Euros. Now, the likes of Leandro Trossard might return a little bit earlier. The likes of, whichever player was not involved in the final, the German players, the German guys, the Kai Havertz might come back a little bit earlier. The guys from, from France, William Saliba might come back a little bit earlier. But you expect Mikel Arteta to get at least a few reinforcements, 1 or 2 reinforcements before we get into the Manchester United and Liverpool games. And then as we get into the Emirates Cup, Arsenal should be able to do some other deals as well. So no excuses. Mikel Arteta was talking about the Euros slowing things down. I mean, he was talking about teams being a little bit slower as they were waiting for the Euros to come to an end. I think it's not. This is it now. It doesn't really get better than this. It doesn't really. It comes down to this. Euros is done. Euros is over. Every single team right now around the world is looking at how do we make ourselves better? How do we strengthen, our squad? How do we make this team, better? I think Man United have been most impressive for me in the Premier League, and Bayern have been most impressive in the whole of Europe. Bayern have done very, very good business, and they have not even taken any excuses for Euros and the Copa America. But I do understand why Mikel Arteta used that excuse. It's been a slow market. It's been a difficult market. With Manchester United, they've only signed Joshua Zirkzee, really, but you expect them to at least advance on Delete. You expect them to advance on Lenioro if Madrid don't up their offer, and you also expect them to advance on Manuel Ugarte. So this week, Arsenal, we must act fast. We must really, really act in urgency mode, because imagine we could play Manchester United on the 28th of this month, with Manchester United having Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias De Ligt, Manuel Ugarte, and Lenny Yoro. That's a different Manchester United from the Manchester United we played last year, home and away, and we beat them home and away last year. But that would be a very different Manchester United. That would be a Manchester United with Lisandro Martinez, winner of the Copa America tournament and best defender in the in the CONMEBOL tournament in the CONMEBOL region. In that tournament, he was the best defender for me. And then that, if they couple him with Lisandro Martinez, and then in midfield they put Manuel Ugarte. On their attack they have Joshua Zirkzee, Rashford, Sancho, and whoever is going to be there, and maybe Rasmus Holland. That's a much better team. They're also looking to sign Ivan Toney. So this week, Arsenal must now start doing the real business. Otherwise, we face the challenge of falling behind. We face the challenge of not being as good as the other teams as the season progresses, as the season starts, and we have a very difficult start to a season. Now, I've talked about the excuses. I think they are rightly so. And I also think that Mikel Arteta is spot on to say that the deal should progress after the Euros, because Sociedad have said after this tournament, so starting today, the Mikel Merino future must be sorted out quickly. The same with Atletico Bilbao. They're saying beginning 1st of August, you're not going to negotiate a deal with them for Nico Williams. So that means that you have around 15 days to go for you to negotiate, or 16 days for you to negotiate a deal for Nico Williams and get it done. But then even the likes of Newcastle and the likes of all the clubs we want to send players from, they would love to get their players sold in this month, so that by the time the Premier League starts, they've already replaced their players. And that is where Arsenal have an advantage, that you have to go into Newcastle right now telling them, we are going to try and sign Bruno Guimaraes. If you're really going to sell, this is the time for you to speak up. Otherwise, you might not have enough time to replace him. Okay, so what is our transfer strategy? And I think what we know already is going to improve as we progress into the week. We're going to see Arsenal's transfer strategy, come to light a little bit. I think journalists saying that Arsenal's transfer strategy was not going to be shown and was not going to be highlighted. I think that is true, yes, but it's also because Arsenal have been confused a little bit on what we want to do. Yes, Arsenal have been keeping cards close to their chest. Arsenal have been wary of revealing who we want to sign, because that would actually, lead other teams into snatching our deals. And maybe we were not yet ready to do those deals. But eventually, this week, in the next 7 days, we're now going to know clearly what Arsenal want to do. Yes, we know that Arsenal want to sign 3 goalkeepers, and one of them should do his medicals this week, should fly to London this week and do his medicals. That is Tommy Setford. And then if Arsenal are going to sign Lunin, we're going to talk about Lunin. Arsenal have sent in an offer to the player. So if Arsenal are going to sign Andre Lunin from Madrid, then we are also going to know that concretely this week. We're going to know whether Arsenal are going to sign a midfielder this week. We're going to know whether a striker is concretely an option, because there's a lot of talk around the striker situation, with Fabrizio saying Arsenal are in the market for a striker and they will definitely 100% get one. And with the Athletic saying Arsenal are not necessarily in the market for a striker. They will get one if there is an opportunity, but it is not a rush for them. They're not going to rush into it. They're not going to, put themselves under pressure for a striker. So this week we're going to know, are we really in for a striker, or are we really in for a market opportunity? Is it just a market opportunity Arsenal are trying to chase? And if it's a market opportunity and Sesko is gone and Joshua Zirkzee is gone, both of those players would have cost less than 60 million euros. So if Zirkzee is off the market and Sesko is off the market, do we really see any other market opportunities in terms of signing a striker? So let's for us to be excited about this week as Arsenal fans. Personally, I'm 100% excited. But let's start off with Riccardo Calafiori. So listen, we are going to have a done deal this week. Mark my words, we are going to have a done deal this week, and it is not going to be Tommy Setford only, because with the Tommy Setford deal, a price has been agreed between Arsenal and Ajax. Personal terms have been agreed until 2029. That is also no longer news. So I don't think Arsenal announcing Tommy Setford as a new addition to the squad is going to be the biggest done deal we expect this week. And if it is, then it has been a very, very poor week. It would have been a very poor week. I think we will start off with Tommy Setford. Arsenal have told Severe not to announce Albert Sambilokonga until today. And that tells you that Arsenal, whatever they do, whatever they want to do, sets in motion starting today, starting Monday. And probably by the time we get to Sunday, there is an announcement pending. There is a medical done. There is another, player doing their, media duties inside London Colney, or probably one player that has flown out to USA with a team, or one player that is about to fly out to USA with a team. So the first signing we're going to complete is going to be Tommy Setford. And I think that is going to set the plan in motion. What Mikel wants now, and what Edu is planning to do, is to try and get deal after deal done. You don't have a lot of time. You don't have the 30 days or 40 days anymore. What you have is a window of 20 days now. You have, 10 days to preseason, then you have 10 days to the end of the month. That's around 15 days, or that's around 17 days to the end of the month. And after that, it's going to be pressure Premier League. It's going to be pressure Premier League season. It is starting. And the remarkably higher standards that everyone has set on Arsenal. The standards that we are looking at this team. We're looking at this team as a team that should be winning. We're looking at this team as a team that should be, challenging for the Premier League. If Kevin De Bruyne dares to leave Manchester City, if De Bruyne dares to leave City, and Ederson dares to leave Manchester City, there will be no reason why Arsenal cannot compete with City, because De Bruyne is a cheat code, and maybe Ederson is a cheat code. Rodri is not going to go away. He's going to stay there, right? So if they lose a cheat code in Kevin De Bruyne, and they lose a cheat code in Ederson Alvarez, Ederson, is it Ederson Alvarez or Ederson Moraes in goal, then Arsenal expected to go and topple over the regime of Pep Guardiola. And even if they don't lose those players, we don't expect Man City to win 5 titles in a row. It will be embarrassing for a Chelsea or a Man United to regroup and come and win the title, ahead of Manchester City and Arsenal, despite the fact that Manchester City and Arsenal have been here battling it out for the last 2 years. So it is our time. Is it our time? We'll talk about that, but it should be our time. So this week, Tommy Setford gets done. Medicals will be completed according to Fabrizio Romano. That is done and dusted. And then we'll get an announcement. And after that announcement, what's going to happen is now Arsenal are going to first clear all the backlog, and we should clear all the backlog that we have been working on. And when I say backlog, I mean Calafiori, I mean Mikel Merino, I mean Nico Williams, I mean, I think those are the deals that we've been surely working on. Those ones I am really sure we've been working on. Also the Victor Gyökeres one. I think we also get to know whether Gyökeres is now a real possibility. And also the future of Edin Ketia and the future of Aaron Ramsdale. All that's going to be clarified this week. So with Riccardo Calafiori, the morning update we have, it comes in from Doc, and they're saying that Riccardo Calafiori, Bologna have told Calafiori that they will satisfy his wish of joining Arsenal, but on their own terms. Bologna are now asking Basel to lower their terms in the sell-on percentage agreement. Arsenal offer is stuck at 45 million plus 5 in add-ons, which is 50 million euros. Bologna rejected Jakub Kiwior as part of the deal. I don't think Jakub Kiwior was part of the deal. I think Jakub Kiwior was a separate deal. So apart from that, I kind of agree with the rest. So Bologna are saying, Riccardo Calafiori, bear with us, calm down, you will join Arsenal. You're going to join Arsenal, and this is the week that we 100% get that verdict. But they're saying that we either get Arsenal to increase their offer, which Arsenal have already refused. So what they've resorted to is now they're talking to FC Basel to reduce their asking price on, to reduce their selling percentage in the agreement with them. I kind of feel like this is Bologna wasting our time, and I don't like it. I'm not saying that Arsenal should walk away. I mean, it happens, but I'm not saying we should walk away. But this is Bologna wasting our time, right? This is Bologna wasting our time. How are we supposed to sit there, wait for Bologna to go and talk to Basel, negotiate their selling percentages as Arsenal wait, as other teams progress on deals? Imagine Arsenal stuck on Calafiori and Man United is signing Matthias de Ligt, and Man United is bidding for Jared Branthwaite, and Madrid is signing Lenny Yoro, one of the best young French centre backs you're going to have on the market. You're going to find on the market, right? I think Arsenal must set an ultimatum this week that if you cannot really make up your mind as Bologna, we either walk away or you make up your mind. For me, it's as simple as that. Bologna also know that 45 million for this guy, that's a lot of money, honestly. I mean, Manchester United sent in an offer for 45 million euros for Lenny Yoro, and that was accepted. And for Christ's sake, Lenny Yoro is a more talented defender than Calafiori, and is a player that we have seen for longer, and we have seen him do it at the top level, and he's attracting top attraction from top clubs, from like Madrid, than Riccardo Calafiori. What is taking this deal so long? How come that Bayern are signing the likes of Jonathan Tah within the blink of an eye, and we are stuck on Calafiori? So I think Bologna have got to make a decision, and this week we need to get the final verdict from them, right? I think they've just realized that their strategy of trying to con Arsenal into making us pay more money, that is not gonna work. That was never gonna work. That is not going to work. So the only option they can resort to now, and the only option they have now, is to either agree with their counterparts, Basel, to reduce on how much they are supposed to give Basel, which again for me is ridiculous, because these guys signed Riccardo Calafiori at around 5 million. Even if they get 25 million for Riccardo Calafiori, they have made a massive profit of 20 million. I just don't see why they are being very greedy. I don't see why they're being very greedy. Someone told me that Arsenal are stingy with their money. We're not stingy. We are offering a good deal to these absolute hungry, greedy guys. We are offering them a very, very good deal. And they should respect that deal, and they should actually say, listen, Arsenal have given us a good deal. Let's take this. And this is the week the Riccardo Calafiori deal. For me, this is the week it gets wrapped up. I don't expect Arsenal to bend as low as we shall wait for you, right? Whatever happens, we shall wait for you. I don't expect us to bend as low as that, because we don't have to really. We don't have to bend to as low as we shall wait for you. This is not an agreement where Arsenal have to sign, Riccardo Calafiori only on the market. We can move on. We have other targets there. Murillo is there. Hato is there, and Jared Branthwaite is there. And to be honest, yes, there is the Calafiori hype, but if we are honest, Riccardo Calafiori, without Premier League experience, you wouldn't actually compare him to Murillo. You wouldn't actually compare him to Jared Branthwaite. I think he's a different profile, very interesting profile. I think he's a player that any team like Arsenal, like Chelsea would want. He would create massive balance, very good balance for this Arsenal team. And most importantly, in my opinion, I think Riccardo Calafiori is going to be a much better left back than Murillo and Jared Branthwaite. But if a deal is going to take ages, and if this deal is going to block Arsenal from going to do other deals, right, then we better move on. We better go on. But I want to fill you with confidence. The first deal we do is Tommy Setford. The second deal we do this week, it's Riccardo Calafiori. And I know I said this last week, but I think this week is different, because this week Everything is agreed, guys. Everything has been put in place, right? Arsenal have set their fixed terms. Arsenal have told Bologna what they're willing to do, and Bologna have a choice now. You either take the offer or leave it. And now they've started talking to Basso. Hey, Basso, can you reduce the amount of money that we have to pay to you, as Arsenal are not going to increase the amount of money that they want to give us? Like, are they really wasting time like this? Are we really, in a circus like this? I honestly, personally, I don't like it. But this must be our second signing of the week, and it should be our second deal of the week. Let's talk about the Nico Williams, because the Nico Williams one has got an update from Fabrizio Romano in each of the last 3 days. Now, the Nico Williams deal is not heavily in favor of Arsenal, as reports Fabrizio, because Fabrizio's updates are like Barcelona, Barcelona, Barcelona. But at the end of his updates down there, he says Barcelona are not the only clubs there. Premier League clubs are there. And when he means Premier League clubs, I presume he's meaning Arsenal, because Chelsea have said they don't want to pay that much, right? And yes, there have been talks about Liverpool, but Liverpool have never concretely expressed their interest in Nico Williams. This one, guys, is the big one. This one is where Arsenal either lose out on a player this week, or we win a transfer battle against FC Barcelona. I mean, what's going to happen is still up in the air. I cannot predict what's going to happen. I cannot predict, and I cannot say that Arsenal are going to wake up in the morning and they have won the Nico Williams deal. But just the fact that the Euros are done, the amount of urgency that we're going to see from clubs, the amount of panic, the amount of timeliness that we're going to see from clubs on this deal, it is absolutely crazy. So let me give you an update that has come through this morning. It is not heavily, right? It is not heavily Arsenal, but why I want to give you this update is to show you that the Arsenal deal for Nico Williams has already started. Whether Arsenal are actually really positive at this stage that we get him or not, the deal has already started. I'm looking for that Fabrizio Romano tweet. Okay. Where did I put it? Bookmarks, right. So Fabrizio Romano this early morning has said this. Barcelona are prepared. I want to show you, right? So Barcelona are prepared to advance in talks with Nico Williams camp starting this week, as salary structure is going to be very, very a key factor in order to move forward. I hope I can share with you that. There you are. So Fabrizio is saying that Barca are prepared to advance in negotiations, to advance talks with Nico Williams and his camp starting this week, as the salary structure is going to be very key as a factor in this deal going forward. Hansi Flick has already approved Nico Williams as the top target this summer. Timing is key. Timing is key, as Premier League clubs are also there. So let's break down this information, because it's a big message for Arsenal. Barca want to act swiftly, and Barca want to act quickly. So this is the same strategy Arsenal used with the Riccardo Calafiori deal. Remember, the moment Italy were dumped out of the Euros like this, boom. The moment Italy were dumped out of the Euros, Arsenal phone calls to Bologna. Can we talk to Calafiori? Yes, you can. Phone calls to Calafiori and his camp. Can we agree personal terms? How much are you offering? 4 million. That's good. What is the length of the contract? Until 2029, 5 years. That is good. Negotiate with Bologna. That is the speed that Arsenal have to use if we are going to steal Nico Williams. Because Barcelona, with all due respect, Barca have their own advantages in this deal. They have their own privileges in this deal. And I'm so happy that the manager at Barcelona right now is not Spanish. I'm so happy that the manager at Barcelona is not one guy that has played for Barcelona through and through, because that means that the identity of the manager is not synonymous with Catalonia and Barca. So it means that we have the same chances of signing Nico Williams as FC Barcelona. I don't think the pendulum bob is going to swing heavily in the side of Barca, in the face of Barca. It will swing heavily in Barca's face, and it will swing heavily in Arsenal's face as well. So, Nico Williams, yes, Barca are going to advance on personal terms. And I don't think, when Fabrizio says this, that Barcelona are prepared to advance in talks with Nico Williams' camp this week, does it mean that they're already in negotiations? Does it mean that they have already started talks? Because as far as I know, and as far as Fabrizio has reported himself, Nico Williams and his camp have not been talking to any clubs during the Euros, as the player was 100% focused on the Euros. So they're not advancing. There are no advancements in terms of talks with Barca or with Arsenal. It's about initiating contact first. So we are both on 0-0. Arsenal 0, Barca 0. And I know that I think Barca will, like I said, use that Calafiori trick that Arsenal used on Chelsea, Leverkusen, Juventus, right? Get there before everyone. Get there before anyone. Get there, talk to the player before any other club does. Talk to the player before any other club tries to convince him. So this is what I think was going to happen this week. I don't think the Nico Williams deal is a done deal this week. No, it is far too complicated, very complicated than reported. But what is going to happen is Barcelona are going to set their terms and conditions. They're going to lay out their terms and conditions for this deal to Nico Williams and his camp. And they're going to say, you're earning 200,000 a week. We have the potential to give you 235,000 pounds a week. Is that good money? And for me, for a player who's 21, 22, still a little bit raw, will be very excited to play for a club like Arsenal or Barcelona. That will be a very good offer, and that will be a massive offer. And what Arsenal have to do this week is to sit back, relax, and enjoy Barcelona negotiating with Nico Williams. So whatever Barca offer Nico, we have to be better. That is what this week is all about, and that is what the Nico Williams deal is all about. Whatever Barca offer him, we've got to be better. If they offer him 100,000 pounds a week, we give him 150. If they offer him 250,000, we offer him 260. If they offer him 300, we offer him 301 pound. What Arsenal have to do this week, and I think this is a deal that Arsenal might get to do, not because we have done a lot of groundwork, but because we've watched the space, learned from the mistakes of FC Barca, and pounce. Now, for Barca, they have a problem. And the problem is huge and massive. And that's why they're running to Nico Williams. That's why they're running to agree personal terms quickly on the Nico Williams side. Because their big problem is that even if they agree personal terms right now this week, they will not be able to afford the player until they make some sales this summer. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that they lock down Nico Williams before Arsenal can lock him down, before Arsenal can agree personal terms with him. Because if Arsenal agree personal terms with Nico, Arsenal have got the financial basis, given the fact that we have done some good deals in the past. Arsenal have got the financial muscle to go and trigger the release clause quickly after agreeing personal terms with the player. So this week is going to be about games of chess, right? Chess games. Who is better at playing this game? Will it be Arsenal? Will Arsenal outsmart Barcelona and give them a checkmate? Will Barcelona outsmart Arsenal and give us a checkmate? We wait, right? But at least according to the Athletic, Arsenal have Nico Williams as the priority winger. Forget your Bakayoko, forget your Chiesa, forget your Kudus, forget your I don't know which wingers you guys are dreaming about, Tsigankov, forget all those guys. Mikel Arteta is a big fan on Nico Williams, and if we are going to sign a winger, it's Nico Williams. That means that if Arsenal don't sign Nico Williams, you might not hear me say another name like winger this summer. All this Pedro Neto talk, I think it's a hoax. It's a smokescreen. Arsenal are not going to invest 50 million in Pedro Neto, a player who has a career riddled with injuries like that. So when Fabrizio says that Premier League teams are there and timing is going to be key, he means Arsenal are lacking in the background. You know, when you watch that documentary channel, maybe you're watching Nat Geo World, and it's kind of a swamp, and you have this tall grass, and the lion is just lying low, right? The lion has decided to lay low in the grass, and all these young antelopes are jumping around, and the lion is just waiting for that opportune moment to make its mark and make its move and go and grab one of the antelopes. That is what Arsenal must do, and that's what Arsenal are trying to do. We're just trying to position ourselves that because this could end in one of these ways. Barcelona could try to talk to Nico Williams, and we don't know their salary structure and cap, but they might not be able to afford the wages of the player that is earning currently. He's already earning 200,000. That's already too much. So maybe they cannot afford the wages. Arsenal pounds there. Maybe they cannot pay the release clause in the installments that Bilbao want. Arsenal pounds there. Maybe they can agree personal terms. Maybe they can sign the player, but maybe Arsenal have a better project that the player believes in and the club, the camp of the player believe in than Barcelona's project at the moment. Arsenal pounds. So we've got to be there, and we've got to give ourselves ample time. We've got to give ourselves ample, ample time to see how things go, and we've got to be swift, and we've got to be agile, and we've got to be quick. This one, I don't think it's going to be between Barca and Arsenal all the way. I think if Barca offer him a good offer and he accepts it, we are going to see other clubs offer the same money. Won't be surprised to see Chelsea saying, "Oh, so you can also settle for 180,000 a week. We are also offering you the same." I won't be surprised to see Liverpool say, "Oh, 220,000. We can actually afford that. We can actually offer you that this summer," right? So a couple of other clubs will come in, but this week it is a showdown between Arsenal and Barcelona. Who will win? I want to back my team. Despite the fact that we have been doing a lot of nonsense this summer, I still want to back my team. But I'm not going to lie. My heart tells me Arsenal can win this deal, but my brain, my head tells me, Cossy, there is Lamine Yamal at Barcelona. They've had a very good partnership with Nico Williams at the Euros. They've just become champions. Does he really want to get separated from Yamal right now? I'm not convinced about that. I'm not very convinced about that. And if Barcelona make that bold move and sign Dani Olmo, Williams, Olmo, and Lamine Yamal, I think Williams will look at that combination as, wait a minute, I know this partnership. And remember, there's Pedri there, Spanish international team, starter. There is Gavi, Spanish international team starter. When you think about all those guys, Williams might sway his tail in Barcelona's way. But before he does, we don't give up. Before he does, nothing has happened yet. Nothing has happened yet. Now, Mikel Merino. God, this transfer has really had a lot of talk around it. Mikel Merino. So the good thing with the Mikel Merino deal is that no one is favorite to sign him. He's not favorite. Sociedad are not favorites to keep him. Barca are not favorites to sign him. Arsenal are not favorites. And Villa are not favorites. And Atletico Madrid are not favorites too. Real Sociedad are going to meet with the player this week to reach on a consensus on how they are going to depart. Both parties know that the relationship is over. They both know that we are not going to see another time. We're not going to have another time where Mikel Merino speaks to Real Sociedad about staying. And this is where Arsenal are saying it's now the Euros, it's now the aftermath of the Euros. Talk to Real Sociedad, tell them that you're leaving, 100% inform them of your decision formally, and we are going to bed. So unlike the Nico Williams deal, I expect the Mikel Merino deal to progress a little bit quicker and a little bit faster. This is the reason. With Mikel Merino, the manager wants him as he has not wanted anyone else this summer. I don't think even Mikel Arteta likes Calafiori the way he wants Mikel Merino. Like, I don't think he believes in any other player than Merino. So it looks like Mikel Merino is a very, very high profile transfer target for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. The advantage with this one is if you have the money, you do the deal. Now, this is where Barcelona are out. This is where Atletico Madrid might also be out. Now, I'm not saying Atletico don't have the money. I'm saying Arsenal can easily outbid Atletico Madrid on this deal. The way we did with Manchester City, with Declan Rice and Manchester City. You outbid your opponent. And with Mikel Arteta saying, this guy is my new Granit Xhaka. This guy has the physicality of a Granit Xhaka. He's got the energy of a Granit Xhaka. He's got the power of a Granit Xhaka. He can run my midfield. I want him, and I'm going to sign him. I think the Mikel Merino deal progresses quicker, and it progresses quickly than the Williams deal. The Williams deal has a lot of entanglement. The Mikel Merino deal is a straight line. Player tells Real Sociedad, bye-bye. Sociedad says 20 million, anyone? 25 million euros, anyone? Arsenal said, hey, we have the 25 million euros, and then personal terms, I don't expect that to be a problem, and the deal gets done. The one that I'm not sure of is the Bruno Guimaraes one. And I'm not saying Arsenal should sign Guimaraes this week. I'm saying, are we really going to get enough updates on the Bruno Guimaraes deal? Because Team News and Six say that Arsenal are not 100% out of that deal. Arsenal have been given encouragement from the players' camp that the deal could be done. So if Arsenal have been given encouragement from the players' camp that the deal can be done, and if Arsenal are full of confidence that despite the fact that Onana is not signing for us, despite the fact that Douglas Luiz has gone, despite the fact that Joao Neves is not going to be cheap, can we go and get Bruno Guimaraes? Is there that element, in Arsenal's mind, in Edu and Mikel Arteta's minds now, that this deal is doable, and therefore we are going to give it our all, and therefore we're going to try and pounce on this deal? So Mikel Merino, for me, Mikel Merino is going to determine Bruno Guimaraes. If Arsenal get Merino and they get to keep Partey, the Bruno Guimaraes deal is not as important and as priority as it would be if we don't get Mikel Merino. If we don't get Mikel Merino, Arsenal 100% will go back, try to get that deal done for Bruno Guimaraes. Otherwise, our midfield situation stinks at the moment. Now, you might be asking yourself, of course, what about outgoings? This week, we don't expect in terms of outgoings. Well, there is a report that I said that Arsenal have sent an offer to Andrea Lunin, the goalkeeper, the Ukrainian goalkeeper at Real Madrid. Now, if that is true, right? If that's true, and by the way, breaking news, Arsenal have officially confirmed Albert Samble Konga has joined Sevilla on loan from Arsenal. It's now official from the Arsenal website. And also Sevilla have also confirmed it. 12 million euros by option, salary covered by Sevilla, and 25% sell-on clause for Arsenal if buy option is activated. That is confirmed. It's just kind of a breaking story. I don't think we need to do a breaking story on this one. We don't, right? We've talked about it all week, last week. So in terms of outgoings, the likes of Lokonga and Tavares have gone. Now, what we expect is to hear movement on Eddie Nketiah. We expect the future of ESR to be clarified. We expect the future of Ramsdale to be clarified, and the future of Reece Nelson. The thing with Arsenal this summer is that however much we want to get deals done quickly, and we can get deals done quickly, and we have the capability to get done quickly, selling is going to be a big part of our summer. It's going to be a very, very big part. Again, a breaking story, not a very big one, but Basel apparently have refused to lower their asking price, or Basel have refused to reduce their percentage on Riccardo Calafiori. So that they're saying they're not going to reduce the amount of money they're asking for, from Riccardo Calafiori. So that means that Bologna have to find another way. That's a breaking story now. So Basel have refused to reduce the amount of money they want from the deal that Bologna do with Arsenal. So that means that this saga is not getting completed today, 100%, not today. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see when it gets completed, but not today. But Lokonga has gone. So for me, in terms of outgoings, the quickest one should be Reece Nelson. He has already said, I want to go. He's already said, I want out. There is no reason for you to keep such a guy in the squad anymore. Out. Ramsdale wants more game time. He has now seen that he cannot play ahead of Pickford if he doesn't have a decent club that he's playing for and decent minutes. Ramsdale, this week, out of the door, right? At least we should be able to negotiate with Southampton and Burnley, the two clubs that actually want him. Emil Smith-Rowe, probably not out of the door, but we should be able to get clarification on what the future holds for Emil Smith-Rowe. Is he staying? Is he going? Right? I think we should be able to get that final decision this week, because he might be among the very important players for Mikel Arteta as we begin the new season, right? As we begin the new season, he's going to be a very, very important player, honestly. Mother says, Cossy, Arsenal need a striker and a right winger. Okay, thank you so much for reminding me about the striker situation, because I almost forgot to speak into it. So when it comes to the striker, again, this week is going to be bloody important. Bloody important. And when I say bloody important, this is what I mean. So this week, you expect Arsenal to either confirm that they are going to go for Gyökeres or not. This week is when we are going to know whether the German ministry player is a striker who can play in all positions. We've been told forward who can play in all positions. So, but is he more of a striker? This week we're going to know. This week we are also going to know whether striker is part of the priorities. We might all be here gaslighting ourselves. We need a striker. We need a striker. We need a striker. And Mikel Arteta is like, oh my God, Kai Havertz is the best striker we have in the world. So this week, tighten your seatbelts. Really, really do, please. Tighten those seatbelts. It's going to be a very, very crucial week. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Let's get this video to 300 likes. Thank you so much, Moses. Then Growth Tech says, update me on the Calafiori deal. Basically, this morning, the terms and conditions that Arsenal are offering have not changed. Basel are not reducing the amount they want from Bologna. So Bologna are still stuck, and the deal is still stuck as well. So that's where we are. Good morning. How about Joao Felix? Yes, we've been linked with Joao Felix. I wanted to speak about Joao Felix in the live stream that I'm going to do at 5 p.m. because I want us to talk about the midfield madness altogether. But let me give you an update on the Joao Felix one. Yes, there are reports that Mikel Arteta values Joao Felix, but I am told, and Fabrizio has also said this, that Joao Felix is a player Barcelona are going to go back and try to sign. So it's not an easy deal. Whichever way you think about it, it's not an easy deal. But yeah, the Joao Felix one, yeah, I really wanted to speak into it. Thank you so much. Hi, Cossy, thanks for the update. Thank you so much, Danny. Omoya says Arsenal need to be more serious in their dealings. If Calafiori is your target, sign him. The season is so crucial. This season, man, this season is absolutely crucial, very crucial for Arsenal. Cossy, what Arsenal need is a striker. That's Alex, and a right winger. I think a right winger will come in. I have optimism that a right winger will come in. However, don't be shocked when your big boy, Cossy, comes here and says Arsenal have signed a striker who they believe can play as a right winger, left winger, and striker. Don't be surprised. Because we've done these things, right? We've done these things. When we signed Gabriel Jesus, the point was flexibility and versatility. He can play as a right winger, he can play as a left winger. So don't be surprised if we don't sign two, striker and winger, but we signed one that works as a winger and works as a striker as well. Obviously, it's not near what I want, but I can see it happen. Cossy, what about the striker situation now? I think I've talked about the striker situation, Moses. I think I have. And I'm going to say it again, right? I'm going to say it again. Striker for Mikel Arteta this summer is not important to him as the goalkeeping situation. It is not important to him as the left back situation. It is not important to him as the midfield situation. So for Mikel Arteta, the priorities are left back, goalkeeping, midfield. That is where he's set his eyes, big bold eyes. Langat says Nico will go to Barca. Let's concentrate on other players. I wouldn't say give up on Nico Williams. You know, for Arsenal to be a top club, we have had to shake off. Some big teams in negotiations to win some transfers. Chelsea on Ben White, remember? Man City on Declan Rice, remember? Madrid and Bayern on Kai Havertz. Chelsea and AC Milan on Gabriel Jesus. So you've got to get used to the idea of competing. Arsenal cannot just sign players they want and other clubs don't want them. It means those players are not good enough. Can you compete for a Bellingham? Can you compete for a Williams? Can you compete for a Dani Olmo? Can you compete for a Mikel Merino when other clubs want him? That is what shows you that your club is either big or it's just overhyped. Right? Moses says what Arsenal need is wingers and a CDM. Peter watching in from Zambia, I don't think we need Nico. We need a striker. Respect that opinion. I respect that opinion. And I know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from the point that you have a player like Gabriel Jesus who can deputize Saka, and you have a Trossard who can deputize Martinelli. Therefore, your pressing need right now is a big center forward. I respect that opinion. I do respect that opinion. I'm not going to really talking too much about it, but I respect it. Second says, good morning, Cossy. Any news about Bruno G? Well, apart from the fact that Arsenal still hoping to bid again for Bruno G. Or bid, we have not bid before. So Arsenal expecting to bid, nothing really. Moses says, Cossy, good morning. Good job. Thank you. John says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Taden says, yes, how are you? Fabio Vieira, Edin Ketia, Smith Pro, even Martinelli, Magales cannot go all season without mistakes in middle season. Bring players and sell to allow the academy. Okay. Bit of anger there. Anger there. Richard says it breaks our heart. We are support. It's slow. It's a slow week. It's a slow market. Ivan says from Uganda, big up to you, Ivan. Richard says, I'm watching you. Arsenal talks about good players, but doesn't buy wine. Mikel Arteta, I want to say this. Mikel Arteta has a set target of players that he wants. Arsenal will, according to the Athletic, Arsenal like Bruno Guimaraes. But Mikel Arteta likes Mikel Merino more. Who is better? Guimaraes is better for the Premier League. But Arteta will sign Mikel Merino. So, for the Arsene Wenger era, I cannot do PR for those guys. They were stinking. Their transfer business stunk the place. How many players are Arsenal have signed so far? So if you ask me how many players have Arsenal signed so far, I'm going to say we have signed Lucas Nigard, new goalkeeper. We have also signed Tommy Setford, new goalkeeper. For now, right? For now. Let's wait until we can get the Calafiori deal all but done. Let's wait when we can get all the other deals all but done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We'll be back at 5 to talk about the midfield situation, as Arsenal are still planning on getting in a midfielder, but there's a lot of madness there. I want to do my research. I want to aggregate the situation there, and then we talk into it.